Guys, I just wanted to read a few verses from Psalm 44. Wake up, O Lord, why do you sleep? Get up, do not reject us forever. Why do you look the other way? Why do you ignore our suffering and oppression? We collapse in the dust, lying face down in the dirt. Rise up, help us, ransom us because of your unfailing love. Now, with the whole war going on in Israel and the horrific things that are going on in Rafah, it just reminded me of that where is God in this world? Where is he? Why is bad things happening? And why is there so much hatred for so many people towards each other? And it kind of reminded me of Job. Like in the book of Job, we see, where was God? He took everything. His family died. His inheritance, his farms, his animals, his children all died. And the question was there, where is God? What? I thought God was justice. And in the whole book, you just see Job going through ups and downs. 1 minute he's praising God, and then the minute he's questioning God and if he's even existing, if his justice is even good. Like, so much went through his head. And in the same here in this verse with Psalms, where is God? Why are you rejecting us? But the answer is he's not. And what we need to do is put our faith in him when difficulty comes. There's times where God might not be in this situation. There's certain times where in my life when I've gone through certain difficulties, but I always must remember when there's difficult times, we must always come to God, come to Jesus. That is when you want to come to him the most. When you don't want to pray, when you feel ashamed of your sin, that's the perfect time you pray. The perfect time to pray is when you don't want to pray. The perfect time when you don't understand God's existence, that's when you want to know God's existence. When you don't understand why he's putting you through certain trials, understand it and read his word. The moment when you start to reject God in your head, is the moment you have to accept. It's the moment you want to discover that reason why you're going through a certain thing. And yes, Rafah is going through an awful lot, and we just pray for those families, and they're going through an awful time. But this has been happening since the beginning of time. We brought sin into the world. We brought suffering to the world. We cannot blame God. We can only blame ourselves. Yes, we want God to protect these people, but God is working behind the scenes. He always has been. And this war will come to the end. All wars in Congo as well. But we must remember God is working behind the scenes. But we did this to ourselves. God has not done anything. God did not bring sin and death into the world. Adam and Eve did. We humans do that. I sin. I try not to sin, but my days I love sin. Who doesn't love sin? Who doesn't? You can't tell me you don't love sin. To get with this girl, to drink this, do all this drinking, all this smoking. Who doesn't love sin? But don't you dare point a finger to God, because there's so much more. He's working at something. When Job confronted God, where are you? What's going on? And God answered him back in a whirlpool. God did not explain to Job why he's going through this. He humbled Job. He made him realize, who are you talking to? Where were you? Job 38 verse 4. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Who are you to question me? Who are you to be speaking such words? So we must always remember, don't blame God for all the badness in this world, because God's done nothing. If anything, he made us for good. He put good and evil in our hearts. But we decided to choose evil in the garden. Let us not forget that. And also, who are we to question God? We have certain things might not make sense to us. The Trinity, God giving us life, free will, it might not make sense, but God doesn't have to make himself make sense to us. If anything, we should make sense to God. What are we doing with our lives? What is the meaning of life? What is our purpose for existing? What is it? Tell me, please. Because we're here, we're sinning every day, we're living in the darkness, not letting Jesus take control of your life. So what are you doing? You're doing God's will or nothing. At the end of the day, why do you exist? What are you even doing on this earth? God's will is at hand. It might not make sense. It might be difficult, but don't blame God, because everything happens for a reason, and God will certainly come back with an answer. Put your hope in him. Psalm 39, verse 7. Put your hope in Christ. It didn't make sense. When Jesus told the disciples to follow him, they didn't understand who this guy was. He just looked like an average Jew, but bearing in mind, he was God in human form. And these disciples realized, they opened their eyes that this is the Messiah, and they threw their fishing nets in the water. They left everything behind. They left their families, their wives behind, and followed this man who was willing to die for them, willing to go to his death. He went through hell to see us in heaven. And I'm not talking about the actual hell. He went through hell because of us. We spat on him, we mocked him, we beat him. And I'm banging the table because I'm really passionate about this. He went through hell to see us in heaven. His wounds heal our relationship with the Father. So whatever you're going through, just come to God and put your hope in him, because all bad things will come to the end. The wicked's plan will not prevail. God is in control, even though you might not see it. You might not see it. I have not seen it at times, but I know he's there. He's not answered my prayer straight away, but I know he will. It's only a matter of time. Have that patience. And we just pray for those people around the world who are suffering in Rafah and in Congo and in Israel. Both countries, people are dying in everywhere. It's not just Palestine, it's also Israel. There's children, it's families in Congo. It's not just all about Palestine, there's other places. But I'm not choosing a side, I don't want to get political, but we just pray for the ones who are losing families, who are going through PTSD and depression, because this is happening so quick. Like 1 minute you're with your child and the next minute they're gone. Like the videos I've seen on Instagram, they're horrifying. We just pray that this will come to an end and God will fight back, because he will. It might not make sense. It might be difficult. But trust me, God does not have to answer himself to us. Everything will make sense. Put your hope in him and he will help you. I hope this made sense, and God bless you all.